Good afternoon. This is Oliver Slope, Blue Line Futures, coming to you from the Chicago Board of Trade with another episode of the 2-Minute Drill. Before we get into the charts and price action in today's grain and livestock markets, I do want to remind you, if you have not subscribed to our YouTube channel, head over to youtube.com, search Blue Line Futures, hit that subscribe button, and be sure to turn on the notifications. My colleagues and myself put out a lot of great video content each and every day, not just in the grain and livestock markets, but the other markets as well, such as gold, silver, oil, S&P, etc. So we cover a lot of bases here, and we would appreciate the support. So hit that subscribe button, turn on those notifications. Now that we got that out of the way, we can go ahead and look at today's closing prices. We'll start with December corn futures. December corn, 7 cents lower, settling at 401 and a quarter. We touched on this yesterday afternoon. Yesterday's technical breakdown following Friday's bearish WASDE report, really led to a buyer strike. There just wasn't anyone ready, willing, and able to step in front of it, and we saw that selling pressure just continue in today's trade, which brought us back down near this psychologically and technically significant support pocket we talked about yesterday, $4. Big round number. Personally, I think this market can defend that on a closing basis. There's a little bit more support underneath $4 down to $3.96. So $3.96 to $4, going to need to hold that on a closing basis. A failure to do so could accelerate the selling pressure, and we could potentially go revisit these lows from August 27th. Now, moving over to the soybean side, it was an ugly day as well, but they actually fared a little bit better. November soybeans at the close, we were 5 cents lower. That was about a dime off of the intraday low, though. We settled at $9.91, and you can see that little wick here. I have been a little bit more on the pessimistic side on the soybean market, but it seems like the sentiment is overwhelmingly bearish right now, and with November option expiration next week, I really wouldn't be surprised to see us trade on the 10, 15 cents on either side of that $10 marker, because that's where a lot of the open interest is on the puts and calls, which would kind of be the max pain pinpoint going into option expiration, and that's next Friday. So something to keep an eye on there. Moving over to the wheat market, December Chicago wheat, 5 3/4 cents lower, settling at 579 and a half. And as mentioned in yesterday's video, we had been optimistic on wheat, but this break and close below trendline support certainly changed the tide a little bit, and I wouldn't be surprised to see a little bit more weakness, especially with what is a seasonally weaker time of year. Now, briefly, we'll go over some of today's highlights on the news side of things. Yesterday was a holiday, Columbus Day, so we didn't have a whole lot in the way of news, but this morning we got all that news. So we had export inspections out this morning. That was below the low end of expectations for corn, soybeans, and wheat, within the range of expectations. As far as crop progress, that was just released, hot off the presses, some might say. We had corn conditions that was unchanged, which I don't really think anyone's trading conditions at this point anymore. Harvest progress, 47% complete for corn and 67% harvested for soybeans. So as mentioned in yesterday's video, we're at that time of year where a lot of that attention shifts towards South American weather, money flow, and things of that nature. So that's going to be what we're looking at going forward. Now we'll jump over to the livestock markets. It was a down day as well, and it really seemed like it was maybe a little bit overdue, as we just had this grind higher in livestock where the momentum was slowing. Yeah, we were making new highs, but it seemed like the bearish divergence was really starting to kick in, and we saw that today. December live cattle down $1.40, settling at 186.52. We saw November feeders down $3.10, 246.47, and on the snout side, it was lower as well. December futures 75.22. That was down 57 cents on the day. So those are how today's prices shook out. If you have any questions at all, feel free to reach out to our trade desk. We are ready, willing, and able to help. You can also email me, Oliver at Blue Line Futures, with any questions or comments. Remember, trading futures involves substantial risk of loss and is not suitable for all investors.